The Sunrise Morning Show on 89.5 FM and 740 AM, Sacred Heart Catholic Radio. It's 8:21. Good morning. I'm Brian Patrick. Tim Beat, Communications Director for St. Mary Development Corporation, joining us on the Sunrise Morning Show. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Brian.
Tell us a little bit about that organization, St. Mary Development Corporation.
Well, we're really a nonprofit that was inspired by God. About 21 years ago, Sister Rose Wildenhouse, who's a nun, a sister of the Precious Blood, and Dick McBride, who was an engineer, got together and decided that we needed more housing in the Dayton area, affordable housing for low-income seniors. And they had no experience in this area at all, but they really felt God was calling them to this. And so that was 21 years ago. They've kind of learned by doing, and since then we've created 2,400 housing units and prevented more than 1,000 foreclosures. It's really the work of the Holy Spirit. In fact, on Dick McBride, our founder's door, he has a sign that says, God is in charge here, and that's really what we're all about.
Indeed, God is in charge, and what great work you're doing. You have a new effort called ThankfulHome. What's that about?
Well, I live in the suburbs, not just outside of Dayton, and I live in a nice house. And as I've seen people who have housing issues, people who are homeless, people who have lost their jobs and gone through foreclosures, it's just really hit me what a blessing having a home is and how we often take that for granted. And so we created a website, ThankfulHome.tv, so people could share short videos and written stories about what they're most thankful for, kind of a spiritual exercise to really reflect on the blessings that God has given you and to reflect on them every day. And we also want to give people a chance to share if they've had difficult housing experiences so that we can kind of connect people, so people who have been blessed can reflect on it and also see and maybe reach out to people who are going through some tough times.
What a great idea. How do you think being thankful for our own homes and being able to share that gratitude with others can help us to be a little more proactive in helping those who have housing issues?
Oh, it's, it just personally, it's huge when you start to meet these people, because I think a lot of people have a misconception that, if you're homeless, you don't want to work, or, if somebody went through a foreclosure, it was their own fault. But I've met so many people, and every time when I talk to them, I always feel like, boy, that could be me. These are good, hard-working people who got in tough situations. We have created homes for about 600 low-income seniors. We have senior apartments. And when I talk to them, the interesting thing is these are people who are very faith-filled, who worked hard all their lives, raised their families, but they never made enough money to save too much. So the day they stopped working, they became very poor. And it's touched my heart so deeply to reach out to these people. And oftentimes you hear people who work in ministry say, well, I get so much more out of it than the people I serve. But for me, it's just been a spiritual exercise to look at everything that I have, hot water in the morning, a bed to sleep in, and give God the thanks.
I remember coming back from a mission trip in Juarez, Mexico, and being so grateful to be able to flush a toilet. We don't think of running water or grass on the lawn to keep the dust from blowing around. We are so blessed, aren't we?
And oftentimes people think, well, that's going on in a foreign country, and it often is. But let me tell you, in the city of Dayton, 30% of the residents live below the poverty line, 44% of kids. And there are people living without electricity or running water in Dayton. And, you think about, well, this is a problem that's far away. Oftentimes we just don't see it because we've been blessed. And I think opening our eyes a little bit and reflecting on what we've been blessed with helps us to see what others have not been blessed with and to reach out to them and to share our own gifts.
Yeah, the poor are all around us. And in helping to bless them through our blessings, how is this really an expression of our Catholic faith, our Catholic values?
Oh, boy. To me, it just gets to the core. Oftentimes, I think our faith can be very parish-centered, and we get involved in activities and things, and we forget where Jesus spent most of his time. And, especially if you're in an affluent parish and, you're working with a parish school, those are all very, very good things. But there are people out there that are really hurting. And I always remember that the term Mass, it comes from the word for dismissal. The important thing about going to Mass is not only what goes on there, but what you do when you go outside those doors. And going out to help those in need, those who need housing, those who are poor. I can't think of more important work for our faith.
So what are some of the ways that you're encouraging people to get involved in your project, in addition to posting their videos on ThankfulHome.tv?
Well, one of the things that we've started on the site is a directory of housing resources. And right now it's kind of Ohio-based, but we hope to spread this nationally. I get calls all the time from people going through housing issues. They've lost a home. They need a place to live. And it's very hard for them to navigate through all the different nonprofit and government programs to find a home. And so we've created a kind of a one-stop shopping directory, and we're hoping that people who work in other organizations will submit their organization so we can build that. So if somebody is going through a housing situation, then they can get help, because oftentimes there's help out there, but they don't know about it. The other thing I think that's important is for families and especially parents to talk to their kids about some of these issues. I talk to my kids all the time about what they have that other kids don't, and I often will drive them through different parts of Dayton to show them, and they're kind of scandalized a little bit because they're young and they're naive and they just don't know that there's any life but the life that they're living. And I think it's a real blessing for families and for parents to pass that on to their kids so that maybe the kids aren't as self-centered as they used to be.
Yeah, I salute you in that, because it's so easy for us, because we have abundance, to look down on people who have less. And really, we have no right to do that. We should just be even more grateful and more willing to help out. So it's great that you expose your kids to the need that's out there. Could you let our listeners know how they can support not only St. Mary Development Corporation, but also this Thankful Home effort?
Well, if they come to ThankfulHome.tv, our website, if they share a story on the site, we're giving out free wristbands that say "Thankful for my home." And I've been wearing one of these for about 6 months, and it's a constant reminder to me to be thankful and to give God the credit for all that I've been blessed with. So that's one thing. If they want to support us financially, they can do that. But one of the biggest things is we're an organization that was founded in prayer, and we firmly believe that it's the Holy Spirit that's guiding us and bringing resources. And so I know your listeners are very prayerful people, and we would really count on their prayers for our work.
Well, we will keep you in our prayers as well. Tim Beat, Communications Director for St. Mary Development Corporation, based in Dayton, Ohio. What a great story you have to share, and I know so many people are very thankful for their homes and will want to share those videos on ThankfulHome.tv. And thank you, Tim, for joining us this morning, and we'll look forward to getting an update from you in the near future.
God bless you, Brian.
All right, Tim Beat joining us from St. Mary Development Corporation here on the Sunrise Morning Show, and God bless you too.